Welcome to the Page Between Oracle channel. I am Paige, and we're here to do another for the timeless read for the series The Page Between Messages Finding You. Thank you all for being here. Those brand new and those returning, welcome and welcome back. I hope the messages that you came here to receive are here for you. So with this read, we take a little deeper dive on my normal readings, channel readings. We don't really dive into the books, but we do so that you can have a perspective as you intuit your read. We do with the Messages Finding You series so that you can have an understanding of what the author truly meant for the card, so that you have two ways of looking at it. You can do the reads, what I find, there's two ways, but I'm sure you have some other suggestions, and if you do, you can put it in the comments. But you can have one question for all three cards or three decks, or a separate question for each of the decks. And if you'd like to pause a moment to come up with your questions, and then we continue on with the reading. So we're going to pull one card from each deck, and the first deck is the Inner Temple Oracle. The next one is, we're going to keep the books out. The next one is the Fairy Tale Heroine, and then Healing the Inner Child. We'll begin with the Inner Temple Oracle. For those tuning in, Messages Finding You, Timeless Read. One card. Chamber of Surrender. There's a mysterious pulse of life woven through every living thing. Everything changes, and so it should. Nothing is stagnant or permanent, so anything you attempt to control or cling tightly to will likely cause you to become out of sync with life's intelligent ways. And this card is your reminder to loosen your grip. This does not mean that the things you cling to for fear of nothing coming to take their place aren't meant for you. If you loosen your grip, they may indeed stay right there, but devoting all of your life force to the clinging will likely leave you depleted, rigid, and stuck as you rely on your personal will rather than the flow of life. Surrender requires courage and the faith that if you give it your all, that which is meant for you will find you. If you're looking to create something or call something in, surrender is an important part of the process. If you're having a difficult time in a relationship, surrender can be an essential ingredient. Sometimes the way to shift something is to find a way to soften our rigidity around it. Whether your dream is for a relationship, a career accomplishment, an acknowledgement, or to heal something all-consuming, surrender is key. This card comes with a message of hope and encouragement, telling you not to lose heart and to remember to keep telling yourself, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. We'll move on to the Fairy Tale Heroine, which I've only used a couple of times. Let's see what the message is for today. For those clicking Timeless Read, and whenever you click, the time may be right for you. Sacrifice. Beauty willingly leaves her Beauty willingly leaves her family to marry the beast, so that she might prevent him from killing her father. In the 2nd century story, Cupid and Psyche, Psyche is sacrificed by her family to an unknown monstrous bridegroom in an attempt to appease the goddess Venus. Beauty's sacrifice transforms her life, and her appreciation for the beast's kindness and gentleness leads to his return to his natural form, a handsome prince, so leading to her ultimate happiness. Psyche is rescued by Zephyrus. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say the name. The west wind, and after a long journey on the road of trials, ultimately marries Cupid, and herself becomes divine. Such joys are hard won, though, because until Psyche and Beauty surrender their attachment to their previous lives and give themselves over to the unknown, they cannot achieve the happy ending that's waiting for them along the road ahead. In most fairy tales, something old and comfortable must be sacrificed to make room for growth and a transformed life. But there are no guarantees, and the outcome of the story will always be uncertain at the beginning. Nevertheless, the heroine must be willing to risk everything for the ending that she longs for. What things that you hold dear will you have to sacrifice or leave behind in order to move on through your life? And the last card is from the Healing the Inner Child. Message is finding you. One card for those timeless read, for those that click the message may be right for them at this time. But always check back later, since it is a timeless read. Entanglement. Invitation. We are born into a story that is already being told and has been told over many generations. We must untangle the threads that keep us bound to the limitations of this story in order to step into our lives as empowered adults. We release entanglements by identifying the fears, beliefs, and behaviors we have adopted and that keeps us bound to suffering over the generations. We need to bring to light who and what was excluded or silenced. As long as someone in the family lineage is excluded, the repercussions will be felt by everyone in the lineage. An effective way of releasing entanglements is to identify and release your worst fear. Another clue to an entanglement could be if growing up you were told, "You are like your grandmother," or "You remind me of so-and-so." You might also be entangled if you are repeating the same behavior patterns as a family member or carrying fear, anxiety, and grief that do not belong to you. These emotions travel down the generations and need to be released back to their original owners with respect and love. This card indicates it is time to recognize something you have been carrying that does not belong to you. Inner child. What was your worst fear as a child, and what is your worst fear as an adult? Write them down and describe how you would feel if that worst fear came true. If you can't pinpoint a worst fear, recall a story you have heard or a moment from a movie that struck you. In the journey below, you're going to let go of this fear by offering it back to the lineage, releasing it to the ancestors who shared this fear with you. Say out loud, "Dear ancestors, my inner child and I are here to offer back to you what is yours." Journey. Draw your family tree on or visualize your ancestors in your mind's eye standing in front of you. Start with your parents, inviting them to stand in front of you. Then invite your grandparents to stand behind your parents, and then your great-grandparents to stand behind your grandparents. Speak your worst fear out loud and feel its effect on your body. Look at your lineage and say, "I am here today to ask you if some of you share this same fear. With your permission, I am here to offer back what belongs to you." Watch some of them raise their hand or take a step towards you. Look at one of them and when you are ready, gather up the sensations, thoughts, and feelings associated with this fear and offer this back to the ancestors who have stepped towards you. Sense this fear following from you to them, or imagine offering it at their feet or into their outreached hands. Take as much time as you need for the fear to leave your body. Once it feels complete, bow to each ancestor and thank them for taking back what belongs to them. Tell each of them, you have a place in my heart. I will honor you by living my life fully. To anchor this process, create an altar with the pictures or names of the ancestors you connected with and light a candle to thank them for receiving back what belongs to them. From now on, trust that you receive their support and blessings and are connected to them through love, not fear. Thank you all for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in our next read. Until then, take care.